welcome back, lovely people. We are back with another episode of ROC Movie Reviews. Jake's finally back. It took us about over a year to get you back on the show. Yeah, and as promised, as we said in the earlier episode, we will be reviewing Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
The most widely talked about movies of the past year.
Yep.
Right, so this is a big one.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi as follow-up to Force Awakens, Episode 8. We were extremely excited about it. And when it came out, you and I both saw it in theaters, right?
Yeah.
And I think we had differing opinions about
Yeah.
it.
Like, when I first saw it in the theaters, I didn't really know what to think about it. I kind of had to see it again just to get a good review.
Yeah.
And then I went to Cumbies, actually,
Mm.
rented out a Redbox, and then watched it again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh. And did you have a different kind of opinion after that?
Yeah.
Like more leaning towards the positive, more leaning towards the negative?
Well, see, for me, this movie is the epitome of ups and downs.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Yeah, ups and downs. I saw this in the theater, and I gotta say, it is very different from the previous movie, Force Awakens. I'm not sure if I consider Force Awakens a better movie than The Last Jedi. I think I might consider Last Jedi, but that's mainly because it takes more risks. Now, Rian Johnson has been a director that's known for taking risks, so he did it with this movie, and I think some paid off and some didn't. You know, there's a lot of things that people didn't like in this movie. There's a lot of people things did like.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it. So this story of The Last Jedi is different from The Force Awakens. It's not a retread in any stretch of the imagination of A New Hope.
Yeah.
It's its own original kind of story. The First Order. First Order is chasing the Resistance, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the Resistance, and they are now they're locked in a heated battle in space, and they're trying to get away from the First Order, but the First Order is chasing them. But they go on the attack, and then that's when we're reintroduced to Poe Dameron. And he's up with all the X-wings, and they're trying to blow up a certain thing on the one of the starship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but that whole sequence was absolutely thrilling.
I agree.
That was a very strong opening to the movie, and I like that little bit where he messed with Hux about like being on the line.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny. Yeah, I think the humor in this worked really well also. So that's mainly the story, and then also Rey, as we know, is on, I'm sorry, what's the planet called that Luke's on?
I don't even remember.
I can't quite remember, shoot. Well, it's that
I
island.
don't even think they said.
I don't know if the movie they did, or if they any behind the scenes they did, but she's on the island, and she wants Luke to train her, right?
Yeah.
And there's that scene where she hands him the lightsaber, and he just
chucks it behind him.
it. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting, but that was definitely unexpected. It was like, oh, okay, he's not the Luke that we know from the previous trilogy. So that's where kind of all of the unexpected qualities of this movie kind of come out.
Yeah.
Especially on that island. But eventually he kind of reluctantly starts to train her, right?
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of convincing.
He did say he was going to give her like 3 lessons, to which he only gives her 1, and then a conversation about the hypocrisy about the Jedi Order.
Yeah, and the movie's called The Last Jedi. Now, he is the Last Jedi, correct? I don't actually
Technically,
know. Technically,
technically he was,
right,
but now it's Rey.
well, yeah. So that there's more than one context to the title.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were freaking out about, oh my God, The Last Jedi. Is it plural? Is it singular? Does it mean one person? Does it mean many?
Yeah.
So but that's essentially the story in a nutshell. It's just kind of continuing the story of all these characters. Finn wakes up from a coma, and we're introduced to a couple of new characters too. That of Rose,
Yep.
played by Kelly Marie Tran. There's a whole thing about that, but not going to get into
Yeah.
that. So, right, we've already talked kind of about the cast. Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron, he's great. I
Yeah.
actually thought he was given so much more to do in this movie than
Oh,
The
yeah.
Force Awakens. I love his character. He reminds me of Han Solo from the original trilogy.
Same.
Yeah, and he's such a fun character. John Boyega as Finn, he's great again.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley as Rey, she's better in this. I liked her in The Force
I
Awakens
thought
a lot.
so too.
Yeah, she had like some of the most powerful scenes. One we'll get to later, where she just she's giving it her absolute 100% in every scene, and that I think that helped sell the movie
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I feel like the acting was better in this one than it was in Force Awakens, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think Force Awakens they needed to convince the audience that yes we can
Yeah.
act, because there were a lot of new faces, but now it's like we've established it, and then no, they're really good actors.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So I'm trying to think of returning characters. You finally get to see Supreme Leader Snoke, Andy
Yep.
Serkis. He we'll get to the ups and downs of him later, but he's no longer this big holographic giant. He's
No.
just this old dude in a robe.
But he's still pretty tall, though.
He is pretty tall and he is pretty menacing. He looks pretty nasty looking,
Yeah.
you know, and then of course we can't forget to talk about Kylo Ren, Adam
Yeah.
Driver. I thought he was better in this as well than
Yeah.
There's that whole thing about
See,
Sorry, go ahead.
see, I think Adam Driver's acting was better in this one than
Mhm.
The Force Awakens, which I kind of felt like that about the whole cast.
Yeah.
But Kylo Ren's character
Mhm.
kept flip-flopping all the time.
He did, yeah. It kind of the trailers made you think like, oh, is Rey going to turn over the dark side? Is Kylo Ren going to turn over the light side? It was weird because
Yeah.
the trailer was edited very weirdly, and of course, that trailer was very misleading because there's certain
Yeah.
scenes cut together that aren't actually cut together like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So, but their connection in this movie I thought was interesting, if albeit a little kind of inconsistent. It was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing with shirtless Kylo Ren and everything. It's just like, oh, okay. I didn't know I wanted that life, but I guess I do. But I think they go on quite a journey. Although I don't know, like I said, it's inconsistent. By the end of the movie, they're kind of in the same place as they were when they started.
Yeah.
Whereas the movie's kind of suggesting throughout the middle that they're going to change, possibly. One of them, at least, is going to change to the other side.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
No, spoiler alert. If you're watching this, you've already seen the movie. Hopefully, if you haven't, then go see the movie and come back.
Yeah.
Because pretty much everyone on the planet has seen this movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably one of my flaws with the movie, the inconsistencies of it, and the tonal shifts are quite jarring, especially when Finn and Rose, Kelly Marie Tran, they go to that casino planet. I can't remember the name of. Do you remember the name of it?
No.
Oh, they said it a lot. They did say that in the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people did not like that whole sequence.
Yeah.
I
Which-
didn't hate it.
For me, it wasn't the worst sequence, but it
Yeah.
wasn't really too valuable to it.
No, it wasn't that essential, but you do meet Benicio del Toro's hacker DJ, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And his inclusion was kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the more head-scratching elements of the movie. But I think that sequence did give us the cool escape where they were all on those, kangaroo-like things. I don't know what they were called.
They kind of looked more like bulls than anything.
Oh, maybe they were bulls. Yeah, those were cool. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool, and that whole sequence was really exciting. But the whole lead-up to it, where they have to they're trying to find DJ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just kind of like felt like we went into another movie.
Yeah.
Because the Casino Planet didn't feel like a tribute to Mos Eisley Cantina.
No.
It felt like it was a little too close to like, oh, this is humans, you know?
Yeah.
That being said, the whole casino element was cool, but I just, you know.
People like us can't relate to that.
I guess it's just it was weird to see in a Star Wars movie, you know what I mean? Right. So I talked about pretty much all the cast. I don't think I've left anybody out. Oh, I'm sorry. Domhnall Gleeson is General Hux. I probably liked him more in Force Awakens than I did here. Here he's just a whiny, like, egotistical brat.
I know. I mean, in Force Awakens, he's pretty much this like great leader who takes pride in his work.
Yes.
Here he's a dummy.
Here he's a total dummy. In one scene, Kylo Ren actually throws him into like the wall or something.
Yeah.
He's nothing but a punchline in this movie, and I'm okay with that because I didn't really like his character to begin with that much.
Yeah.
Domhnall Gleeson's a good actor, but his character doesn't have a whole lot to work with.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there. He is not Grand Moff Tarkin of the new trilogy.
No.
He's just not. That being said, Grand Moff Tarkin didn't have a whole lot to work with, but he did more with his character.
Yeah.
And he was more memorable because General Hux he just comes off as this general who screams all the time.
I know.
And doesn't actually know what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of hysterical, actually. So, anyways, I liked his performance better in The Force Awakens, and him being reduced to a punchline, I guess, was a bit of a jarring shift.
Yeah.
But I did laugh when he was reduced to a punchline because it was funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I can't take away from that in that sense. But I think that's most of the cast. There's Laura Dern's character. She's Admiral something. What's her name?
Holdo.
Admiral Holdo.
Don't like her at all.
You don't like her at all?
Nope.
Yeah, this is one of those elements of the movie.
I mean, it's either Rose or Holdo that's the worst.
What are you leaning towards? I'm probably leaning towards more. Yeah, I guess it would. I don't know, Holdo probably.
I mean, for me, I think Rose was more of a pointless character, but Holdo was infuriating.
She was, yeah. She doesn't really do anything.
Well, her whole purpose was just to make Poe look like an idiot.
Yeah, it was. And even though he's given more to do in this movie, I think her inclusion. I like Laura Dern as an actress.
Yeah.
I think she's fantastic in the Jurassic Park movies, all those.
Yeah.
But her character in this felt very shoehorned in. It was like, why are you here? Because we didn't even mention Carrie Fisher as Leia. Yeah, this is like her last official performance before she, sadly passed away. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But she's kind of reduced. Like in the beginning, she's there, but then she's blown out of that. Kylo Ren blows her out of the cockpit or whatever.
Yeah, it feels though. Also in this movie, I liked her the least.
Leia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when Poe pulls that stunt, she demotes him for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she gets into that coma.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she wakes up, she sides with Holdo again.
I know, yeah, it's kind of, if Holdo hadn't been there, I don't think it would have gone the same way. I think it took forever for Leia to realize Poe Dameron was right.
Yeah.
Really?
Probably if you took out Holdo and Rose, the movie most likely would have been better.
Yeah, probably. There were two, and then even Benicio del Toro's DJ, I feel like those three characters could have been completely taken out.
Yeah.
And Captain Phasma's in this movie for
only 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Finn has a cool short fight with her, but I think she's actually dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can survive that.
And the sad part is, that's the only time she's in The Last Jedi.
I know, yeah. If they bring her back for the 9th one, it'll be kind of idiotic, because it'll be like, how'd she survive that? And 2, there'll be no purpose, because she's literally in it just to, fight Poe, and that's it. She's done. It's like, okay.
You mean Finn?
Finn, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Yes, Finn. But that whole sequence though was pretty thrilling when they were they were infiltrating the Empire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the First Order. Leading up to when DJ betrays them, I would say that was exciting.
Yeah.
But anyways, and we didn't even talk about Luke Skywalker.
No.
Oh God, what's his name? Who plays Luke Skywalker?
Mark Hamill.
Thank you. Good God, I'm having a brain fart. Mark Hamill. I think he gave an incredible performance in this movie.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
definitely one of the great aspects of this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and his fight with Kylo on the planet, the sand planet, which I always forget. Oh no,
Yeah.
the salt planet.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Pretty much kind of a rip-off of Hoth.
Still
Just with red crystals.
Still cool though.
Yes.
Still cool. I love that planet. I actually love the finale of this entire movie. I would say the finale is a high point of this movie. Maybe you wouldn't, but I'd say the finale is, especially when Luke fights Kylo, and even though he's not actually there, it's still
Yeah.
intense and exciting.
I mean, I thought it was cool that, yeah, we saw Luke fighting Kylo Ren, but then ends up he's not there.
Yes.
And I don't know, for me the best part of the fight was probably the second to last end of it when he's like, "See you around, kid," and then kind of disappears.
Yeah.
But the worst part is when he dies.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's coming back for episode 9 or not. I think in some capacity he is, but
Maybe as a ghost.
maybe as for all intents and purposes in this movie only, he does die. He basically disappears. He's been on the island, right? And he was projecting himself, and then he dies. And I think that was probably a very big turning point for fans. They were like, "You can't kill Luke Skywalker," you know, because
No.
we already killed Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and then Leia. Carrie Fisher's already dead, so they're gonna have to kill her off or something.
Yeah.
So the main three characters, I don't know if they was giving them justice or if it's like that's a very sticky.
I don't think they gave them any justice.
Okay. Well, I mean, Han Solo's death was a little more dignified, I guess, because it was more powerful.
Yeah.
But Luke, he just kind of, you know, he was done. I feel like that was a little unceremonious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, you know, anyways, I do think when Rey, like, moves all those rocks and everything, that kind of defies logic.
Yeah.
But that was
Because, like, Luke Skywalker took, like, years of training
cool. Mm-hmm.
before he can even become a Jedi Master. And
Yeah.
yet Rey doesn't even know what the Force is.
Yeah.
It can move rocks.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that consistency of Rey, like, just being good at everything, kind of.
Kind of like a Mary Sue, almost.
Yeah, that doesn't take away from my overall enjoyment of Rey's character. I think Daisy Ridley's great. I think her character is interesting, and I want to see what happens in Episode 9. I do. That being said, they're going to have to make a lot of course corrections to Episode 9
Oh, yeah.
from what they did in Episode 8.
Yeah.
And thank God JJ is coming back to do it, because while I like Rian Johnson, I think he got a lot of flack for the movie, but I think he made a good movie overall. I think JJ coming back makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because more people enjoy Force Awakens than The Last Jedi, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, and then, of course, there's comparisons to, like, is this the new Empire Strikes Back? No.
No, I wouldn't say that.
It's not similar, really, in any way. Which is kind of actually a compliment I would give to the movie, because it's like, this is not a retread. There's no elements that are,
I'd
like,
say
from
it's more
Empire
similar
Strikes
to
Back.
Return of the Jedi than anything.
Maybe. Yeah. And this is the first Star Wars movie that really kind of takes place pretty much all in space. There's no actual, like, I mean, you go to the planets in the middle,
Yeah.
but usually there's like a beginning, middle, and end, and this kind of feels like there's a beginning, then there's like this huge middle section that I guess kind of just goes into the end. There doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a middle section in this movie.
No.
And I think it's longer than Force Awakens, isn't it?
It's the longest Star Wars movie.
It is, yeah. It's like over 2 hours long. It's 2 hours 15, I think.
Actually, 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's right. So, wow. Yeah. That might have also been something that turned fans off, you know?
Well, for me, I have nothing wrong with long movies, just as long as they're good.
Right, and you kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we've talked about the cast, the characters, and the story. The cinematography, you said,
Yeah, cinematography was great. And this is
Cinematography
where
was
the
beautiful.
greatness begins.
yes, it does. Steve, who did you say this
Uh,
cinematographer was?
Steve Yedlin.
Steve Yedlin, who didn't do the cinematography for Force Awakens. I think the cinematography in this movie is better than The Force Awakens, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful from every camera shot, every, like... Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah, from every angle, from every camera shot, it is a gorgeous looking movie, especially in high definition. It's just, yeah, oh man, sometimes it's so gorgeous that it hurts, and it's
Yeah.
like you gotta pinch yourself, remind yourself this is a movie, but the work that Steven has done on this is incredible.
Oh yeah.
And especially considering that he didn't do the cinematography on Force Awakens, and I thought that film looked amazing as
Yeah.
well. But this looks even better. He did a great job. As for the music, John Williams comes back to score.
Yeah, I love the music in this one, honestly.
This music was awesome.
Yeah.
John Williams absolutely topped his Force Awakens score.
Like, much better than the one in Force Awakens. I'd say the music in Force Awakens is my least favorite out of all the movies.
Wow.
But it's still great.
Yeah, it was still great. It just, I think it had similar beats from the original trilogy, and it didn't feel so unique and new. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not.
I mean, it was different.
It was.
I just thought the other musics were better.
Yeah, more memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I mean, John Williams, I think he's coming back to score episode 9, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is. So we'll see what happens there, but he's definitely, he composes a much better musical score with this one, and I think that was definitely a high point of the movie. Yeah. So
visual effects.
Visual effects. The visual effects are also very good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, I feel like with a lot of movies just pile their movies with CGI nowadays, whereas this one is starting to become like more natural, more like the originals.
Yeah, it is. I would agree. I would agree with that because it's the look is very consistent with how the originals look. Although it's more polished, it's more high definition, and everything just looks so clear. It's kind of ridiculous how good everything looks. And there's a certain sequence where Rey and Kylo fight a bunch of guards. It's really the only lightsaber fight in the movie, and I know that was kind of a criticism on the movie. Yeah. But that scene is awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love that scene. I know a lot of people are like, why'd they have to kill Snoke? I didn't really mind it because I thought Kylo Ren was always the main villain. Yeah. Snoke was just kind of this other guy.
See, for me, it's not that Snoke died; it's the way he died.
You just didn't want him to go out quite like so much of like a.
Yeah, he dies by not paying attention.
Yeah.
Even though he can literally like lift Rey without even moving a finger, and can literally move General Hux through a hologram.
Yeah, that's true. He'd whack him right on the floor and then slide forward.
Yeah.
That was funny. It's the inconsistency of his powers, and he's supposed to be this wise, all-powerful guy, and then he just kind of gets taken off and then cut in half. But the whole cut in half thing, that was, I kind of cheered when I was in the theater, because I only saw this in the theater once, but it was kind of like a woohoo moment for me. And then the fight that ensues is just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably one of my favorite lightsaber fights in the entire series.
Oh yeah.
Just because of like how angry Rey and Kylo are when they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's actually a more violent lightsaber fight than any of the trilogy fights, I would say, except for maybe the one on Mustafar, which is quite graphic.
That one was epic.
That one was epic, and I think that had a lot to do with being on the lava planet. But this one definitely ranks pretty high up there. So, and that's definitely probably my favorite scene in the movie, that lightsaber fight right there. Because the tension is so heightened that when they do start fighting, it's just like, oh, we were waiting for this or something, my blood was pumping the most when that scene was going on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think this film is, again, it is a risk for the Star Wars franchise. I think a lot of people didn't like it. I think a lot of people did like it. It's very much split down the middle, but I'm glad that it was made because it allows us to talk about it,
Yeah.
And overall, I do think it's a good movie. If I were to rate Star Wars The Last Jedi, I'd probably give it, let's see, out of 10, I would give The Last Jedi 7.5. 7.5
Really?
out of 10. Yeah, why? Are you going to go higher?
5 for me.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we got a 5 from Jake, we got a 7.5 from me. Again, not a bad movie, but it's got its ups and it's got its downs, and I think, like you said, it's very much the kind of
the
movie...
epitome of ups and downs.
It is, it is.
It looks great, but on the inside, for me, it wasn't.
It's kind of poetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, you've already seen The Last Jedi, or not, then go back and go back and watch it again, or watch it the first time, then come back and watch a review. But looking forward to episode 9. What, next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year is gonna be a while. We had no Star Wars movies in between then, do we?
Solo?
Well, Solo's already out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be reviewing that at a later date too, because we definitely have things to talk about. Solo. I feel like Solo's kind of like The Last Jedi in the sense where like Force Awakens and Rogue One mostly got like incredibly
Positive reviews.
and then Solo and Last Jedi, well, Solo
Got mixed reviews.
got mixed, and it was very much a mixed bag. I don't want to say which one I think is a better film, like Last Jedi or Solo.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to our Solo review. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back with more reviews very soon. Maybe probably of other Star Wars movies, and then Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom a couple weeks from now. And we'll talk to you guys then.
Yep.
Peace out,
See ya.
everybody.